Hi, my name is Rachelle Smith, entrepreneur, professional speaker, and author. I am so excited to be kicking off this leadership series entitled Leadership Lessons. Leadership and leadership development is something I am extremely passionate about. I've written a book about it, and it's certainly one of my life goals in terms of my life purpose is truly to empower others to become better leaders. And I'm so excited to be kicking off this additional facet of my journey of helping to empower, equip, and inspire people to live their best lives now. But first, a lot of people think they know what leadership is and what leadership is, what leadership is not. But a lot of people have the erroneous belief that leadership is a title, okay? Leadership, I'm the CEO, I'm the owner, I'm the founder, I'm the manager, okay? I'm the general, I'm the colonel, okay? Whatever the case may be. A lot of people think that leadership is all about only the person having a title or a role. But folks, that couldn't be further from the truth. Because we've all been in situations where a person is basically demanded respect, but not commanded respect. And there's a big difference between the two. Okay, you can run around, basically having an iron fist and sticking your chest out saying, everyone better listen to me because of my way or the highway. Okay, you can demand leadership, but true, real, effective leaders command leadership. Okay, and they command folks that want to kind of share their vision, towards achieving a goal, or helping an organization, or improving their own productivity. Okay, there's a lot of different areas in which leadership and leadership development and those who follow leaders are basically kind of engaging in. Okay, and as I move forward through the series, I'm going to highlight various aspects of that. But just first off, leadership is not a role, it's not a title. Okay, if that were true, okay, we've all been in situations where you've kind of been under someone like that with that mindset. They had no leadership skills, and so basically went around commanding leadership, okay? And leadership is something, there's this whole notion of leaderships, or leaders, are they born or are they made? I mean, there's a lot of different folks, in a lot of different areas of life where people always say, are you a born salesperson or are you a made salesperson? Are you a born leader or are you a made leader, okay? But I just know that kind of growing up, leadership is something, and I just kind of credit my own upbringing as something that was very, very important. And I know that I was raised to be confident and to never be afraid to step up and lead in any situation, okay? Whether that be kind of speaking up in a scenario that's kind of unfortunate or kind of a bad situation, or if that's kind of leading a committee or taking the initiative to get something done, okay? Or taking the initiative to help someone else, okay? And that's part of, a lot of people kind of say, well, you're in this leadership role and you have this platform. But I think part of my own mindset is kind of servant leadership. I'm always asking, how can I help people? How can I help people learn? How can I help people grow? And it's something that I pray very often. Again, this platform, this leadership role is something that I do not take for granted, folks. Okay, I pray very often, Lord, let my heart be right. Let me lead people the right way. Show me, anything that I need to change in my own life or in my own heart. I want to make sure that I am leading people towards excellence. I want to be able to lead people towards their best lives now, or a corporation, their best year ever. Okay, whatever realm I'm leading people, I want to make sure that I'm always doing the best that I can with the right heart and with right motives. And so this particular segment, this episode, I want to talk about the importance of influence. And I realize, kind of to dovetail what I just said, leadership, and this is something, influence was an entire chapter of my book. Leadership, one of the key tenets of leadership is influence, okay? Your ability to lead others, okay? And your ability to influence others, okay? So the person who's running around demanding respect, okay, versus the person who is commanding respect. Those who command respect are able to influence other people to take action, okay? And hopefully it's positive action and not negative action. But this whole aspect, and there's different personality tests where you can see kind of where you stand in terms of your leadership ability, your leadership, any type of potential or areas for development that you may have. As an undergraduate, I was inducted into the Omicron Delta Kappa Leadership Honor Society. And so that's actually one of 4 honor societies that I was inducted into during my college tenure. But leadership is something I've always taken very seriously. But when I got to the corporate world and had to take these personality tests and assessment, okay, Myers-Briggs, okay, the DISC profile, DISC profile. And so my highest rating, my highest section in terms of the DISC profile, has always been influence, okay? My ability to influence. And so, of course, I worked in sales, but influence is something that I take very seriously, and I challenge each and every one of you from a leadership perspective, okay? When you speak, and particularly if you rate high, if you're an influential person, okay, you need to recognize that's something we cannot take for granted. That is something we must take very seriously. Because when you speak and people listen, or when you speak and people act, or when you speak and people reevaluate their lives, or you're reshaping their mindsets and their beliefs, that is something you absolutely must cherish, and that is something you absolutely must not take advantage of. Okay? And as I mentioned, this is something I pray often, because I know people listen to me, people follow, people write, people read my books, people hear me speak, people been to my trainings before, okay? And they know, people have one-on-one conversations with me, and I know that my ability to influence others is pretty high. And so that's something that I always try to make sure that my heart is right, I'm doing it with right motives, and I truly want to see each and every person I interact with, whether I know you personally or not, I want the absolute best for you. And so that means I've got to be credible, I've got to be objective, I got to be willing to, from a leadership role, step up and make some decisions, okay, to make sure that I'm influencing you in the right way, okay, and I have no problems doing that. A perfect example just kind of popped into my head. My gym situation that you've heard me talk about kind of on Life Happiness Tips, as well as some of my Fitness Fridays, okay? Hey, facility, no problems with it, okay? But I just know, as one who's written a book on leadership, one who speaks and trains on leadership, what I've experienced is absolute horrible leadership, okay? Nice people, good people, okay? But horrible leaders, okay? And I just know, because other people are listening to me and other people are following me, I can't officially endorse, and I haven't actually in a long time, officially endorse my facility. So what does that mean? All of the YouTube videos in which I had filmed in my gym have all been yanked off YouTube. Had to go back and update or revise my drafts for one of my books in which the gym was named. Okay, Jay Grossman, a local community reporter here, contacted me last week and said, Rachelle, your name was given to me. We want to do a fitness story, and somebody told me you'd be a good person. This is what we want to do. Yada, yada, yada. Had the interview with them. Okay, do you have any workout photos that you can send me? So I had to send him a photo of me in my gym, in my home gym in Louisiana. But then I had to drive to Dearborn also to take a picture at my old gym, the Ford Community Center, okay? Because I can't, people listen to me, and I can't kind of endorse, as much as I enjoy my workouts and as much as I know that I have the confidence and the tenure to deal with what I've had to deal with this year. But I just know some impressionable person, perhaps would listen to me and say, well, okay, well, I'm going to come and what am I going to do? Endorse somebody and they come there and experience what I've had to go through this year? Absolutely not. So, hey, it's you make your own decisions as far as, this particular facility is concerned. But, my home gym in Louisiana and my past gyms, I was happy to send him those photos. Here's 2 photos. You choose whichever one you want to use. But so, folks, I know this is just an example how seriously I take my leadership. Okay, I can't influence you to perhaps end up in a situation where you're dealing with what I'm dealing with. Okay? So I go there, I work out, I have no problems, but you may not have the tenure. You may not have the confidence. And I don't want to derail anyone from who's trying to live a fit life and achieve their fitness goals. I don't want something else or something like this and what I've had to deal with to derail them. But I just know from an influence standpoint, I have a responsibility to highlight excellence, okay? To highlight absolute excellence and the best of the best that I can find. And you've seen me earlier this year, whether it be Fitness Fridays or Life Happiness Tips. When you see me interviewing somebody, particularly behind this camera, they've been vetted. I've spent time with them. I've observed their leadership. I've observed their actions and behaviors. I've observed their people. So because I take this very seriously, I have a responsibility. I care about you. I also have a responsibility to protect you, to make sure that, again, you don't end up in a situation like mine. Okay? So just do know, I take my ability to influence you very seriously, folks, and I challenge you as leaders to do the same. Doesn't matter if you're leading in your church, or if you're leading in your community, or if you're leading in the workplace, or if you're a parent and you're leading your family. Just recognize your ability to influence. People are watching you. Okay, you may not even have the title that would quote unquote be associated with leadership. You may not be the CEO or the owner or the founder. Okay, You may be just an employee, okay? You may be a lower level employee, okay? But people listen to you when you speak. Do people listen? Okay, that is a sign of influence, okay? People are listening, people are watching. But there's so many negative, examples of people that have kind of taken their influence and used it in horrible ways, such as Jim Jones, okay, and that whole kind of cult that he ran. So we've got cults, we've got gangs, we've got all of these negative, all these negative factors and entities in society where what is that? People just utilizing their ability to influence in the wrong way. So take your leadership role very seriously. Take your ability to influence very seriously. For those of you kind of who are like myself, who are very strong in the influence area, realize what an awesome privilege that is. That's a privilege that is not to be taken for granted, and it is not to be taken advantage of, okay? So it's something, as leaders, work on your ability to influence, hone that ability, but also protect and nourish that ability to influence others, because leadership is so important. And I know a professor over here at Walsh College here in Novi, I heard him speak one time on leadership. He said regarding influence, you haven't influenced anyone until they've acted. Okay, so think about the importance of your ability to get people to act positively or negatively. It's an awesome responsibility. Leadership is not a title simply, it's not a role simply, it's an awesome responsibility, but it's one that we all must take seriously day in and day out. So I thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to sharing more leadership lessons in the future. Make it a great day.